President John Mahama opens West African Episcopal Conference in Accra. And in Angola, 125 people killed by yellow fever since December 30. Hello, good evening to you and welcome to News Hour on GBC24. My name is Gifty Ichi. President John Dramani Mahama has drawn attention to 3 international issues that are consequential to all nation-states. He mentioned climate change, falling commodity prices on the world market, and terrorism. President Mahama urged all to respond to the challenges in the global village through processes that finally lead to the light at the end of the tunnel. He made a point when he opened the West African Episcopal Conference in Accra. A report by Napoleon Atukito.
Venue for the Regional Episcopal Conference of West Africa is the Holy Spirit Cathedral. 120 Catholic archbishops from the West African sub-region held their second ordinary plenary assembly in Accra, Ghana. Theme: the new evangelization and specific challenges for the church. In their midst, the Ghanaian leader, John Mahama. 2 delegations, 2 groups. They gave the event a religious and political flavor, which was to shape the discourse. The corporal mercies that Catholic Christians ought to show to people were highlighted at the Episcopal Conference. These include giving food to the hungry, giving water to the thirsty, visiting prisoners, welcoming strangers, and generally assisting the needy. Most religions enunciate sacred responsibilities, but politicians acting through secular systems ultimately play a role in devotional matters. The elected president of the West African Episcopal Conference is the Archbishop of the Nigerian city of Jos, Ignatius Kamega. He read the communique of the conference, which basically spelled out the church's aversion to social vices.
The Catholic Church is happily committed to working with our respective governments to alleviate poverty, diseases, corruption, and especially religious extremism, which has caused needless destruction, displacement of people, and deaths in some parts of our West African region.
President John Mahama said, going into the era of sustainable development goals, Ghana will work to attain outstanding MDG targets on infant and maternal mortality and sanitation. Additionally, he appealed to religious-based organizations to cooperate with state apparatus in confronting global challenges.
There are threats that we face as a human family, and that have a potential to draw us back. The first being the challenge of climate change, rising sea levels, that even here in Ghana we can begin to feel. The world is also faced with economic volatility and financial crisis. China is said to be slowing down. Commodity prices are collapsing. Oil prices have gone as low as $27 to a barrel. Gold prices have gone down. Considering that African economies are mostly net exporters of commodities, then it means that these volatilities in the world financial market directly affect the economic well-being of our countries. The third threat is terrorism and religious extremism. This is a scourge that we must unite to fight against.
Bishop of Bissau in Guinea-Bissau, Most Reverend Jose Kamnate Nabisin, was elected as first vice president. The Most Reverend Alexis Toble Yofo, Bishop of Agboville in Côte d'Ivoire, was also elected second vice president to the Regional Episcopal Conference of West Africa. Napoleon Atukitu reporting.
And still in the capital, a wreath-laying ceremony has been held to commemorate the 68th anniversary of the 28th February Christiansborg Crossroads shooting. on 28 February 1948, 9 years after the Second World War, and failure to fulfill promises made to them, the war veterans were on a peaceful march to present a petition to then colonial governor when 3 of them were shot and killed by the colonial police. This year's event was attended by Vice President Kwesi Arthur and some government officials.
The war veterans who had fought so gallantly and received high commendation were demobilized at the end of the war. They were being paid a pittance as gratuity. After years of painful waiting for promises that were not being fulfilled, the ex-servicemen on February 28, 1948 embarked on a peaceful march to the Osu Castle, the seat of government at that time, to present a petition to the colonial governor. Unfortunately, this plan was not received well by the colonial police, who opened fire, killing 3 of the servicemen. As is done every year, a roll call was conducted to remind them of those still alive and those who unfortunately have passed on.
Private Yao Asare 170900 W02 Ofosu Asare.
The Vice President, Kwesi Arthur, laid a wreath on behalf of the government and people of Ghana. Commodore Steve Obimpe laid one on behalf of the Veterans Administration of Ghana. The head of the Odate Lamptey family, Mr. Hammond Odate Lamptey, laid one on behalf of the family to educate students on the event and remind them of its importance in history. About 400 students were invited to this year's event. An ex-serviceman took us back memory lane.
The reason why we sacked the Europeans with that, they take timber go free, they take diamond go free. Our pay way they give us kobo, the one they make whole. That's why we sacked them.
Now, the Ministry of Education has taken delivery of science equipment for distribution to about 100 senior high schools across the country. The equipment, which cost about 39 million Ghana cedis, is to improve the teaching and learning of science-related subjects in school.
The Ministry of Education has noted with concern the weaknesses and poor performances in the teaching and learning of science and mathematics. To correct the situation, the ministry has made a number of interventions in the form of rehabilitating and equipping about 300 science resource centers in the country. The Minister for Education, Professor Nana Jono-Pokwajima, inspected the consignment, which was shipped into the country with support from iTech Global. The equipment include microscopes, respirometers, measuring cylinders, and computers. Others are scalpels, pocket magnifiers, agent bottles, and long volume bag kits. These will be distributed to about 100 senior high schools across the country. The equipment are to help in the teaching of science, technical and vocational skills, including biology, chemistry, physics, and general electronics. In an interview with GBC24, the minister said the ministry remains committed to the cause of improving teaching and learning of science and mathematics.
All these trucks contain equipment that we have imported to ensure that the students get the adequate material they need for science learning to take place. Other strategies include resourcing the science resource centers to ensure that the students can have equipment, can have the practicals, the experiments and so on that are required.
For effective use of these science equipment, a total of about 1,200 science teachers and laboratory technicians from the 400 beneficiary schools have had their skills sharpened so they can improve the teaching of science and mathematics.
Away from that story, plans are advanced to construct the road from Soma in the German North District to Seketia in the south next year. The deplorable road is a major link road that connects farmers in the cashew-growing areas to market centers in the capital. Vice President Kwesi Mr. Arthur disclosed this when he opened the Goka Prayer Center of the Church of Pentecost in the Bodafa region. A report by Nuto Bibini-Nuto.
Goka is a little village in Sampa, the district capital of Jamai North. This little village has shot into prominence especially for Christians and seekers of spiritual healing. Here in Goka is a prayer camp started some decades ago by deaconess of the Church of Pentecost, one Mami Sarah. With her gift of healing through prayer, many are believed to have found solution to their spiritual problems. Since the village borders Côte d'Ivoire, most people here are bilingual, and many Ivorians come through this porous border to the Goka Prayer Center for prayers. The annual event is patronized by people from all walks of life. This year's session was opened by the Brekum area head of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Anthony Mia. He touched on prayer as a prerequisite for surmounting hurdles. To him, Ghana would only go through the November 2016 elections unscathed if Ghanaians sincerely prayed and worked for peace.
So we are politicians. So we are software. So we are him. So we are human office. So what a job. Near Oyano. Bisa said, and then Kwaswaba Ama Omai Ghana.
The German traditional authorities thanked the government for the numerous infrastructural developments, including electrification of most villages, witnessed under the Mahama government. The chiefs asked for the walling of the Goka Senior High School and construction of the Jamai Seketia Road. Vice President Kwesi Mr. Arthur joined the congregation to pray for the nation, the government, and the church. He reiterated government's commitment to constructing the said road next year.
I fear a friend of the year of hope. There's great hope for the people of Ghana. Say, the Brian Brain na MCM Brano, a sweet trap. Now, fear ye come to send your software canon. I fear a day in Punto, a baba, a room. Now, there'll be peace in our land. To Biamba, a cremo, Yamoho, or she has my ended that. Until we continue to pray to God to maintain the peace and stability of our country.
He also donated some cash and building materials towards the construction of the Goka Church of Pentecost building. By this experience, Mr. Kwesi Mr. Arthur has joined a club of leaders like President John Mahama and ex-presidents John Ejekum Kufuor and Atta Mills, who have all been to the Goka Prayer Center. Nto Bibini Nto, GBC24, Goka.
Now, as the clock ticks toward election 2016, pastors continue to emphasize peaceful coexistence. The General Overseer of the Assemblies of God Church, Reverend Dr. Frimpong Manso, has entreated feuding factions in Yendi and Bumpurugu to put their bitterness aside and live together in peace. Dr. Frimpong Manso was speaking at the Tesano branch of the Assemblies of God Church, where he cut the sword for the construction of 1,500 capacity church building.
The Assemblies of God Church started in the northern part of Ghana in 1932 through the effort of a group of missionaries from Burkina Faso. The influence of the church spread from the then Yendi province to Tamale and then to Kumasi. The church got involved in social services and began to open clinics, schools and printing press. Between 1990 and 2000, the Assemblies of God experienced a tremendous growth. Currently, the church is embarking on a policy to establish 3,000 branches in 5 years. At a special service to mark the start of a 1,500 capacity church building, The General Superintendent, Reverend Dr. Frimpong Manso, spoke about peace before, during and after the 2016 election. He entreated the Electoral Commission to be neutral and also advised Ghanaians to control their tongue.
We must be accommodating, we must be friendly, and we must be loving. This election is not do and die, and we should do the best we could as the citizenry to preserve our nation.
Hello again, you're still watching News Hour coming to you from Broadcasting House here in Accra. In other stories, investigative journalist Anas Aremiyaw Anas has urged journalists to help expose corruption in the country, irrespective of their political affiliation. He was speaking at the maiden edition of Tertiary Student Lecture Series at the University of Ghana. The lecture is aimed at deepening the spirit of patriotism in students to get involved in nation building.
The Tertiary Student Lecture Series is aimed at deepening students' interest in democracy and informing them on various issues of national discourse. The maiden lecture series was centered on the fight against corruption and other problems in Ghana. The students could not hide the excitement when Ghanaian investigative journalist Anas Aremiyaw Anas showed up at the program. The aged journalist, whose investigative efforts have exposed wrongdoing, including the corruption in Ghana's judiciary, advised the students to be focused and determined in whatever they do. He said that it is the only way they can achieve their dreams or make the needed impact on society.
Whatever we do is for the progress of our own people. So I am trying to tell you people that the journey is going to be long and tedious. Some of them will be disappointing. Some of them will be irritating, like this one. But you don't have to give up. You always must aim at always doing your best for your society.
The president of the National Graduate Students Association of Ghana, Mr. Raymond Ayilu, said the lecture was timely.
The appetite of students to national issues is no more there. Now, the focus has been driven from the fact that our role in contributing to a society that is dignifying, in shaping the destiny of this country, has been left to those who are above 40. Now, what can we do as students to wake up that spirit of studentship, of people who believe in their country, people who want to take part in shaping the destiny of the country?
Some of the students shared ideas on how they think problems confronting our society can be addressed.
It looks like we are in a production mall where we are just producing graduates who do not even have the nation at heart. We lack the kind of honesty and integrity to have that drive to be passionate about our own country.
Anas Aremiyaw Anas also shed light on some of the challenges involved in his job and why it is necessary to name, shame and jail to reduce the rots in society.
Now, the past week saw President Mahama perform a constitutional duty in Parliament, and in some parts of the country, there seems to be no end in sight to the water crisis, whilst in showbiz, the frosty relationship between Shatta Wale and VGMA continues. And as we count down to the dawn of a new month, let's recap the week in pictures. Welcome back. A yellow fever epidemic in Angola has killed 125 people out of 664 suspected cases since December 30. Government statistics show, despite attempts to quell the outbreak, the center of the health crisis remains the capital, Luanda, where 92 people have died. There's no specific treatment for yellow fever, a viral hemorrhagic disease which is transmitted by infected mosquitoes and found in tropical regions of Africa and Latin America's Amazon region. Yellow fever vaccinations are routinely recommended for travelers to Angola, though the country had not previously seen a significant outbreak since 1986. Coming up is sports. In sports, Accra Hearts of Oak continued their good start to the Ghana Premier League. They beat Mediama SC by 2-0 at the Takwa TNA Park. Cosmos Dauda opened in scoring in the 77th minute. Eric Kumi then scored the winner in the losing stages of the game.
This was the movement. Eric Kumi and Dauda. Tornado was beaten. The chasing was coming in, but he was clinical up front. Cosmos Dauda on his left foot. Shot past goalkeeper Muntari Tego.
And the ball 17. Eric Kumi! And Kennedy can't afford to hug his players. They have come.
Bankrolling the club, but this was the move there. Nice cross from the left. Kobe missed it. Half volley. It was perfect. A low grounder and goalkeeper.
And still in sports, Sekendi Hazakes picked their first 3 points in the ongoing Ghana Premier League. They beat visitors Techiman City by 4-2 in the match day 2 fixture played at the Esipon Stadium.
The match day 2 fixture of the 2015-2016 GPL at home to Techiman City. In the match day 2 fixture, the two sides had mixed fortunes in their opening games. While Sekendi Hazakes were thrashed 3-0 by Wa All Stars, Techiman City pipped Brekum Chelsea by 1-0. Looking for their first win, Hazakes started on a good note, dominating the early exchanges. Their efforts paid off just after 6 minutes through Amos Kwachi. Hazakes pushed for more goals and were awarded a penalty. Goalkeeper Razaki Drusu saved for Techiman City, but 2 minutes later, another penalty was awarded to Hazakes after a defender of Techiman City handled the ball in the box. Eric Bekwen stepped up and scored to end the first half on a high note.
This ball, and he thinks that the ball was hitting the player in the arm, and of course, this is a penalty. Can he? Eric Bekwen, he certainly scores 2 goals.
Back from the break, Hazakes made it 3-0 as striker Eric Bekwen, formerly of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, scored a brace in the 49th minute.
Well, so Eric Bekwen, trying to go.
Oh!
Wow! That is Eric Bekwen. He is back in the Premier League.
In the 58th minute, Techiman City pulled one back through substitute Yusuf Ejakun. The visitors took charge of the game and soon reduced the deficit to 1 as Baba Mahama scored. Techiman City looked poised to record a great comeback, but that was not to be as substitute Papakun scored Hazakes' 4th goal in the 92nd minute. The encounter ended 4-2 in favor of the secondary base side, Hazakes.
Gets up again. Hazakes, can they make it 4?
And that was sport. Coming up is entertainment, where Sally Mafo, a gospel musician, says the biggest challenge as a musician living in the diaspora is gaining recognition here at home. She made a chat with Showbiz about some of the advantages she enjoyed and the disadvantages as a gospel musician. Here are excerpts of that interview.
I'm fairly new on the market, but I've been singing in the background for like 20 years. I started singing when I was in Doma. I was in the junior choir, and I became the leader. So I've loved singing, but I didn't actually think of coming out with an album.
Can you give us an a cappella from that?
Obomidi, ansana wawome, miyamo jatwa numpo, osino nime, wamana basaso, ehai bitomi so, wayi miyapwe, amama yenshira.
So what are some of the difficulties you find here in Ghana as well, in the music industry?
A lot. It's not easy to penetrate, or like if you to find a producer, and then the media people too. Some of them will help, some of them will, I mean, the payola is too much. Some will take it and they won't even play the song. This is my first album, and I have 10 tracks on it. My Inshura is one.
Okay, the one.
Mebo Udin, the second one.
Okay.
The third one, Nyawaya Mami, Unyameba Yesu, Hosanna. There are some people who will just see your talent and just decide to help you.
Okay.
There are some people who will see your talent and decide to make money out of you, or just extort money out of you.
And this has been News Hour on GBC24. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.